Dumbass. It says book 2 right there. I don't know what happened to me. I think I was just high on getting a library card for the first time. Today, I'm getting a library card. For the first time in 10 years plus, I'm getting a library card. I'm so freaking excited. My lord, it is. It's early in the morning. It's before work, and so yesterday you saw me go to the library and I did get my library card. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. Still am, actually. I'm gonna go again today on my lunch break to peep in and see more books because I don't know what happened to me, okay? As soon as I got the library card, I think my brain turned off or something and I didn't know what the hell was happening. So the first book that I took out yesterday, which is so cool because the last time I had a library card was like, I was a teenager, okay? And I remember from a really small town in South Africa, and they had to like take time to laminate the thing, so I couldn't even take out a book immediately. So to be able to take out a book immediately was so cool. But anyway, so my first book that I saw, I got a Riley Sager book, and I have not read one of their books yet at all, and there were like a bunch of them there, so I'm thinking maybe it's older or people just aren't interested in this particular one. But nevertheless, I got Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I went in looking for specific authors, but none of the books that I wanted from those authors were there. So that's just how it is with the library, and I think from now on I don't think I really will go in with an idea of who I want to get, like which author I want to get a book from. I'm just gonna kind of wing it because I think that's more fun, you know? So, then I got another book, and now this is where I don't know where my head went, okay? I got God's Grave. Honestly, I thought this was a C, to be honest. And okay, so here's my thought process. And you're like, why would you get book 2 in this series? Well, first of all, I saw this one and it says first. And I think I was just high on getting a library card for the first time in a very long time that my brain just switched off. And I wanted to get the first one of this series. But that's another thing of library books. I feel like a lot of the first in a series, unless it's really old or whatever, you're not going to really find it unless you put a hold on, which is the case with this one. The first one was not there, and I don't know, I just saw the one and I grabbed it. I'm like, are you joking? I even thought to myself, I thought this was book 2 in the series. Dumbass. It says book 2 right there. I saw that there was a quote here from Robin Hobb, Hogwarts, but with a lot of violence. I'm like, sign me up. Okay, I was like, oh, this is cool. I even have this book. That's the biggest thing. I have this one. I thrifted it. I don't know what happened. I've lost the plot completely. Anywho, this one is even signed. That's freaking crazy. If they have a signed first edition, that's nuts. So I'm gonna return this one. today. And yeah, keep middle of the night. You get to keep them for 3 weeks, which is plenty of time, I think, to read. Yeah, I'm thinking of getting like a smaller book. I feel like 300-ish pages or less is good. Like getting a massive like fantasy thing is probably not the play with the library. So yeah, I can't believe. So I'm excited to visit again. And it's just an excuse for me to go back. Maybe that was my brain was like, oh, yeah, you're gonna make this fumble so you can go back and go look at the books again. And you know what? Thank you, subconscious. Thank you so much. Yes, and another thing, I tried to like get a couple of clips, which you can see I showed a couple of clips, but it is packed in there. It's packed. Well, in terms of there's people everywhere. It's not like that packed, but there's people everywhere. I don't know how these people film in the library and like there's no one around, because at this one, I guess it is the central one, so downtown everyone just kind of walks in, and it is kind of like it's a tourist attraction, so it makes sense that there's a lot more, there's kind of tourists in there, and it has like a beautiful rooftop view of the river. So yeah, anyways, I try and get what I can, but it's tough. It's tough. So it's been a hectic week at work, but it is Wednesday, thank God. I thought I would just check in with what I got. So you saw me return the J. Kristoff book because I so amazingly got that one, the second book in this series. And then I actually discovered like a whole new section of the library, which I'm so glad. And I'll show the clips somewhere in here. Maybe I'll be able to put in some music. I haven't really figured out the YouTube music system. And anyways, I actually was able to take out a couple of books. So I found this section that has the new books, which I was like, okay, this is the gold mine. Obsessed. And I got Rachel Harrison's Play Nice. This was actually one of the Book of the Month selections, I think for October, one of those months, one of the spooky dookie months. Not the dookie months, I'm sorry. I can't believe I said dookie. Anyways, the spooky months. Okay, this was that. And it was just sitting there, and I just checked it out. I'm like actually blown away. I don't know why this is hitting me so hard. I'm a little bit confused. I'm shocking myself at the moment about why I'm so enamored with this idea. I don't know. I'll have to think on it and maybe go back to the library and find a book about it. Okay, moving on. I actually did get a couple more. And in the other section, like where they have just the fiction section, they have like they have a couple of shelves, a display of things that the librarians recommend. And one that was there was When Among Crows by Veronica Roth. And I saw it there, and I mean, this cover just like stood out. And it's a little one. I don't want to take out too many big books from the library because I don't know how my relationship is going to be. So I figured I would just get a couple short ones. So I got this one. And then I also got... this just drew my eye, and I just grabbed it for Margaret Atwood. Read it. Now listen carefully. Listen properly. Penelopiad. We're going to go with that. So yes, I took out 2 short-ish books so I can get through them and just like read some of the small ones, because a lot of I wouldn't ever find myself paying, unless I love it so much, $30 for this. I'm just not gonna buy that full price, and so having it there and I could just take it out and then give it back. I'm like literally on cloud 9 about this. You know what they also had was The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I've heard that people love that one. And they had a Cassandra Clare book, The Sword something. Yeah, I mean, I'm just reading the people who gave a quote on the back here. They have all these people's books, bro. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm being a bit annoying about this, but I'm kind of obsessed with it. So these is my haul, the library haul. Let's go. So I did read a lot of this. Well, for one day, I literally got it. So I read like 100 pages of this. I'm really enjoying this. It kind of reads like a movie. I can literally see the scenes in my head, and a lot of the times I feel like that's not the case. But with this one, you can literally see the scenes. And I love the setup of this. We have sisters whose mom dies, and they've been estranged for a very long time. Their parents are divorced, and they all come together to deal with, to grieve her also. But also it's complicated because she kind of treated them bad as kids. Our main character, Cleo, seems to have a different kind of relationship, it seems, with the mom and with the house. So anyways, with the house, it seems like the mom still owned the house, which they didn't know about. And so I'm at the point where they're kind of like, what do we do with the house? Are we going to fix it up and sell it? And that's what she wants to do. Our main girl, Cleo, is going to do that. And so I'm really excited to see where it goes. I mean, if you look at the cover, there's a person in there. And it seems like there's some crazy, spooky shenanigans that happen. Just kind of reminds me of Hill House. As kids, it seems like they've had an experience at this house. And also, one of the cool parts is that the mom seems to have written a book about it, which is also similar to Hill House, where the guy, the oldest kid of I forget their names, the Hill House family. The oldest kid, writes spooky stories, and one of them was about the house. Anyways, so it's really cool. So in this part, which is some of my favorite stuff, actually, is when Cleo reads her mom's book, which she is supposed to not read, and so it's like a book within a book, which I think is really cool. She finds it in the house when she goes back to visit. She finds it in the house on the nightstand, I think, in her bedroom. Cool stuff, dude. Anyways, so I'm excited to finish this one, and who knows when I'll get to these, probably tomorrow. Yes. Long story short, obsessed with the library. I cannot. It's indescribable, which I'm sure it is describable, which is funny. I'm also listening to Stephen King's On Writing in the car as I come home and go to work. He's talking about describing things, and I need to work on that. I think I can be better at describing things. This book so far is propulsive. It is fun. It is intriguing, and all those kinds of words. Okay, that is it, I think, for this. I hope you have a great weekend, whatever, and yeah, I'll see you next time.